What is going on, guys? JD is back this weekend, Sunday, December 16th, 2012. It is TLC 2012. TLC 2012 will be hitting pay-per-view live in about an hour, and JD's going to be heading to the bar. I'm going to have myself some 25-cent wings, a few Sam Adams, a few Guinness, and enjoy myself and write my commentary on my phone as the pay-per-view happens, so I can give you guys a full, in-depth review after the pay-per-view ends. But before I do that, before I head off to the bar, I want to give you guys some news and rumors. I wanted to do this yesterday, but I got caught up doing a little something. I was not home all night, so I'm going to bring this to you right before the pay-per-view. Let's get right into it, guys. There's some big news stories that happened this week, a lot of news. So like I said, let's get right into it. First piece of information now. Ryback versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship supposedly is going to take place on an episode of Raw, since the match will not happen tonight at TLC. As of now, WWE is looking to do the match on the January 14th episode in Houston, Texas. This is the night that will mark the 20th anniversary for Monday Night Raw on TV. So the company feels that they need to provide a perfect occasion to have this main event. Now, to me, why this match has to take place again is totally beyond me. How can they possibly revisit this match with Punk out till January and The Rock returning January 7th for Raw? You know, isn't he supposed to be feuding with CM Punk? Face it, folks, like I stated all along, Ryback was nothing more than plan B from the start in this whole CM Punk situation. And I said in my preview and predictions video for TLC, Ryback should not get another title match anywhere until his timing is right and until WWE finally decides to give him that spot. If we repeat Punk and Ryback again on Raw, it will be an outcome we will all expect again, and that is Punk retaining. Because WWE can't be that stupid to take the title off Punk 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble to go against The Rock in probably what's going to be one of your biggest matches ever. Come on now. There are reports going around that there is a big push internally to make the WWE product edgier. While this is not Vince McMahon's idea, he is said to be on board with listening to ideas as he recognizes numbers are down across the board. No shit. The hope is in light of the low ratings recently to give the audience something different compared to what they've been seeing over the past couple of years. According to this report, we can also expect to see more wrestling-heavy program. Now, in my honest opinion, I don't necessarily think the product needs to get edgier. Yes, I think it still needs to be more adult-like and less PG. For example, I don't want to see Muppets on my TV tweeting to WWE Superstars or interviewing wrestlers backstage. What WWE needs to do, they don't need to be edgy, all right? It has nothing to do with being edgy. That will all come into play eventually. What WWE needs to do is set out storylines in advance, give those storylines a proper finish, and plan everything out in advance instead of writing week to week, show to show. No more rewrites for Raw 9 times before they go live on TV. They need writers who are in sync with the wrestling business, fans of the business, all right? People who know what the core audience wants to see. Edgy has nothing to do with anything here. WWE needs to right all these wrongs I just mentioned, and edgy will present itself on its own through the writing. WrestleZone.com recently reported that top superstar Randy Orton may have sustained an injury at the taping for the Tribute to the Troops. Now, during this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, Orton was put through a table by the members of The Shield. WWE then announced to the live crowd that he may have suffered a concussion as well as a separated shoulder. The reports are, in fact, true. He did suffer a separated shoulder, but he will only be out for 2 weeks. So he's not going to be on the shelf for that long. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. The 12/10 edition of Monday Night Raw drew a 2.7 cable rating, which averages about 3.76 million viewers across the 3 hours. The number is up from last week's awful rating, but is still well below the 2012 average. Nothing new with Monday Night Raw. I don't need to really state my opinion on that. You all know how I feel if you've been watching my videos. WrestleZone.com also reported earlier this week on several names, including Mick Foley and Macho Man Randy Savage, that have been taken off the table for consideration in regards to the 2013 Hall of Fame ceremony. We can now confirm that one of those big names being talked about by WWE officials right now to be entered into the Hall of Fame is Kevin Nash. Obviously, he was a former WWF champion, a 5-time WCW champion, 9-time WCW Tag Team Champions with Scott Hall. as well as being one of the original members of the NWO. We all know that. Kevin Nash is certainly more than qualified to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to tell you guys right now concerning Foley and Randy Savage. They both belong in the Hall of Fame, period. Savage should already have a shrine within the WWE Hall of Fame, and it's a shame he isn't amongst the immortals, as they say, where he belongs. Everyone who watched wrestling in the 80s growing up knows Macho Man Randy Savage is one of the all-time greats. Savage's family said that it was his wish to be inducted into the Hall of Fame with his brothers. I don't see why WWE just doesn't suck it up, work something out with Savage's family, and give the man what he rightfully deserves after one of the greatest and most influential careers as a wrestler that you could possibly ever have in this business. Nash, yes, like I said, belongs, so I can see that happening in 2013, and being that he's Triple H's best friend, who has major control right now, so that may become a reality. Nash, like I said, is one of the greats and certainly belongs in the Hall of Fame. There has been some talk, at least turning Alberto Del Rio into a babyface. WWE officials badly want a top Hispanic babyface, and the feeling that is Rey Mysterio won't be around forever and is far from an office favorite, while Sin Cara just really isn't ready to take on that workload. Listen to me here. WWE wants a top Hispanic babyface. I'm going to tell you what. Del Rio isn't the guy. Del Rio is without a doubt a heel character. Okay, I can't picture him as a babyface. It's not going to make me care about him any more than I already do. Just leave his character the way it is. Tweak his character a little bit, yes. Instead of changing it and potentially ruining his career. Sin Cara can be the Hispanic babyface that they want, but he needs to do one thing before that happens. He needs to learn the English language. You need to communicate with the fans. Until that happens, you can forget about having the Hispanic babyface that you want. Del Rio's not the answer. Sin Cara needs to learn English, and that's your guy right there. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and several others from the Attitude Era have been discussed internally about returning to the WWE. WWE has not contacted them. Meanwhile, WWE officials are looking to bring back some mid-card talent, but they have not reached out to anybody yet. Like I said, some of those names include Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Cliff Domino Compton, among others. I heard this weekend, but really, I heard that it's nothing but rumors. There's no validity behind them. WWE has had a very decent mid-card division lined up for itself a few years back with John Morrison, Carlito, Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, MVP. They were all solid in-ring guys who were very capable of putting on good matches. If they had the chance to bring those guys back, I say do it and pay them. WWE has ruined its mid-card division and failed repeatedly to create new stars. They failed to showcase new talent on TV, even with the 3-hour Monday Night Raw. These are well-known guys who the fans, I'm sure, remember. Kofi can use the competition. Cesaro can use the competition. Build the champions you have up now to that upper mid-card tier. Bring back Benjamin and team him with Charlie Haas. And, they have the tag team division revamped and put them together. The world's greatest tag team. Rhodes Scholars versus Benjamin and Haas. Hell No versus Benjamin and Haas. I'd be all over that. Get it done, WWE. John Cena's age and mileage is reportedly starting to catch up with him. Now, this is something that we all know. We see it. We see it on TV every week. He is physically drained. There is some talk right now that Cena's career will start to wind down in the not-too-distant future, and he may begin to work a schedule similar to what Triple H or The Undertaker have done over the past few years, while they work only big angles and big matches, then take some time away. This will all depend on how Cena feels physically, but there is definitely talk about John Cena's best days, and that they're coming to an end, if they haven't already. I didn't need a wrestling website to tell me that. I didn't need a news and rumors website to tell me that. I could have told you that just by watching WWE Weekly. Cena is 35, 36 years old. He's getting up there in age. He really needs to be featured less than he was in previous years. But then if that happens, WWE's leaving money on the table. People still want to see Cena. The kids want to see Cena. All right? But the thing is, who is the next John Cena? Who is the next John Cena? You have nobody right now. Leave a comment down below. Let me know who you guys think the next John Cena will be for the WWE. Plans could always change, but as of right now, WWE officials are looking to have Sheamus versus Randy Orton as the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 29, which obviously would mean that the current champion Big Show would have to lose it by WrestleMania. And the current Money in the Bank contract holder, Dolph Ziggler, will also not be champion by then either. That's what that means. Sheamus would be the babyface going into the match, with Orton being heel. As reported last month, Orton has been wanting to go back to a heel character for now. I say do it. But the match that I would book for WrestleMania is I would have Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, or even put Randy Orton in there and have it a three-way. You know, that would be a fantastic World Heavyweight Championship match. That's the way I would go. But as of right now, Ziggler needs to hold the belt. He needs to win the belt tonight or sometime before the Royal Rumble and carry it into WrestleMania. That's what has to happen. They've been holding him with the briefcase for too long. It just needs to happen right now. Worry about the World Championship match, when the Royal Rumble and starts to come around, and then we go into Elimination Chamber. But right now, all this stuff is just rumor. Finally, Ted DiBiase Jr. is thinking about leaving the WWE in the near future. There was a few names dropped, and he is apparently at the top of the list. He says he wants to get into acting right now and said to be not very interested in having a wrestling career right now. We all know Ted DiBiase Jr. Had so much of an up and down career. He was with Cody Rhodes. They started the legacy. He was on Raw for a while. He was with Maurice. They gave him the $1 Million Championship belt. And then after that, he became Cody Rhodes' henchman while Rhodes captured the Intercontinental title. It's been such an up and down career, but this story upsets me that he wants to leave the wrestling business. And I'll tell you why. You know, he's the son of Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. How do you have the son of Ted DiBiase and not feature him on TV? How do you fail to book someone like that in a match or an angle? The same thing with Michael McGillicuddy. How do you have the son of Mr. Perfect and fail to book him properly? Guys like that can be booked properly and fairly easily after a night out getting so fucked up, drunk, to the point where you don't remember what you did the next morning. That's how easy it is to book those guys. WWE's failing to capitalize on what brought them so many greats in this business. Second and third generation superstars. We have Ricky Steamboat's son in NXT right now. What happens to him when he makes the main roster? Will he suffer the same fate? Are they just going to leave him in the back and not give him a storyline? If he goes on to be successful, what makes him more special than the son of Perfect or Ted DiBiase? Come on, WWE. Get your fucking priorities straight. Get these guys on TV. Your shows can use the talent these guys have. Who knows? They might get over with your so-called WWE universe. Stop shoving guys down our throats and let them organically take course. People will gravitate to them. People will gravitate to those they want to gravitate towards. If not, you'll know. Just look at the waste that you have in Tensai. People hate him. They don't want to see him on TV. They're vocal. The fans let you know. Michael McGillicuddy and Ted DiBiase have the talent. Put them on TV. That's the news and rumors, guys. That is all I have for you this week. I am about to head off to the bar, have myself some wings, some beer, and watch the TLC pay-per-view. Your TLC review, thoughts, opinions, and everything TLC tonight will be coming up after the pay-per-view, so look forward to that. And that is it, guys. JD is out. If you guys are going to be watching TLC, enjoy, and I will catch you guys in the review video. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.